Hey guys, Paul here. Um, Back in college. It's really late. Stood up studying and all that. But hey, we're here to read Revelations chapter 8 and 9, since they're both kind of short, and they go on to, basically tie each other together. All right, Revelations chapter 8. This one's called The Seventh Seal and the Golden Censer. When he opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven for about half an hour. And I saw 7 angels who stand before God, and 7 trumpets were given to them. Another angel who had a golden censer came and stood at the altar. He was given much incense to offer with the prayers of all God's people on the golden altar in front of the throne. The smoke of the incense, together with the prayers of God's people, went up before God in the angel's hand. Then the angel took the censer, filled it with fire from the altar, and hurled it onto the earth. And there came pearls of thunder, rumblings, flashes of lightning, and an earthquake. The trumpets. Then the 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets prepared to sound them. The first angel sounded his trumpet, and there came hail and fire mixed with blood. And it was hurled down on the earth, and a third of the earth was burned up, a third of the trees were burned up, and all the grass was burned up. The second angel sounded his trumpet, and something like a huge mountain, all ablaze, was thrown into the sea. A third of the sea was turned into blood, a third of the living creatures in the sea died, and a third of the ships were destroyed. The third angel sounded his trumpet, and a great star, blazing like a torch, fell from the sky on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star is Wormwood. A third of the waters turned bitter, and many people died from the waters that became bitter. The fourth angel sounded his trumpet, and a third of the sun was struck, a third of the moon, and a third of the stars, so that a third of them would turn dark. A third of the day was without light, and also a third of the night. As I watched, I heard an eagle that was flying in midair, calling out in a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because of the trumpet blast about to be sounded by the other 3 angels." Okay, Revelation chapter 9. The 5th angel sounded his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen from the sky to the earth. The star was given the key to the shaft of the abyss. When he opened the abyss, smoke rose from it like smoke from a giant furnace. The sun and the sky were darkened by the smoke from the abyss, and out of the smoke locusts came down in the earth and were given power like that of scorpions of the earth. They were told not to harm the grass of the earth or any plant or tree, but only those people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads. They were not allowed to kill them, but only to torture them for 5 months. And the agony they suffered was like that of a sting of a scorpion when it strikes. During those days, people will seek death but will not find it. They will long to die, but death will elude them. The locusts looked like horses prepared for battle. On their heads they wore something like crowns of gold, and their races resembled human faces. Their hair was like a woman's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth. They had breastplates like breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the thundering of many horses and chariots rushing into battle. They had tails with stingers like scorpions, and in their tails they had power to torment people for 5 months. They had as king over them the angel of the abyss, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, in Greek is Apollyon, that is, destroyer. The first woe is past, 2 other woes are yet to come. The 6th angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the 4 horns of the golden altar that is before God. It said to the 6th angel who had the trumpet, "Release the 4 angels who were bound at the great river Euphrates." And the 4 angels who had been kept ready for this very hour and day and month and year were released to kill a third of mankind. The number of the mounted troops was twice 10,000 times 10,000. Was twice 10,000 times 10,000. I heard their number. The horses and riders I saw in my vision looked like this. Their breastplates were fiery red and dark blue and yellow as sulfur. Alright, sorry about that. Verse 17. The horses and riders I saw in my vision looked like this. Their breastplates were fiery red, dark blue, and yellow as sulfur. The heads of the horses resembled the heads of lions, and out of their mouths came fire, smoke, and sulfur. A third of mankind was killed by the 3 plagues of fire, smoke, and sulfur that came out of their mouths. The power of the horses was in their mouths and in their tails, for their tails were like snakes, having heads with which they inflict injury. The rest of mankind who were not killed by these plagues still did not repent of their work of their hands. They did not stop worshiping demons and idols of gold, silver, bronze, stone, and wood, idols that cannot see or hear or walk. Nor did they repent of their murders, their magic arts, their sexual morality, or their thefts. That's where it ends. And you can just see the intensity of what these trumpets are bound to do to the world. These trumpets are not something to hold lightly to. These trumpets are going to inflict a lot on those who aren't saved in the end. Those who aren't saved are going to be experiencing so much. But those who've come to Christ and can truly call themselves a Christian won't experience this pain. They won't have to see all this. But sadly, most of the people that aren't Christians, most of the people on this planet that aren't Christians, they're going to experience this stuff. And that's why it's our job as Christians to continue spreading the Lord's word, so many, 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 many more people can experience God, or at least hear of his name, and make the choice. And make the choice and the commitment to follow him, to follow Jesus. And once they do that in the heart and truly become one of his, they'll be saved and won't have to endure all of this. So I pray that if you're not a Christian, or maybe you are a Christian and you're worried or you're not so sure, pray to the Lord. He's always there. The Lord will always help you and reply when you ask him for help. His reply may not always be what you expect, but it's going to be an answer. So I pray the Lord helps you. I pray the Lord helps you, truly, you that are Christian, I pray that he helps you help you reassure yourself so you don't get caught in worriness. From personal experience, don't get caught up in worriness. It's one of, if not still one of my biggest weaknesses. And the Lord is always pounding it into my head to stop worrying. And I'm slowly getting better at it. But as one Christian to another, don't let worriness get in here. God bless you guys. Have a nice rest of your day. And I pray the Lord be with you. And for those of you who aren't Christians, I pray you make that commitment, because you never know when this is going to happen. You never know when Jesus is going to come back, because when he does, that's it. So make your commitment now, because you never know when the end times are coming. God bless you guys. Have a good rest of your day.